everybody, welcome back to PlayLog, the podcast that is semi-regular, where we talk about the games we've been playing. And this week, let's go with this time, we're talking about Pokemon Legends Arceus, the newest Pokemon game to release. And of course, I had to bring back the regular old crew. Starting to my right on your perspective is Christopher.
Hey.
Chris, RV2, the man, the plan, the Soul Link partner. Next, I've got the red. I was going to call him the gnome. Nope, you're not that anymore, buddy. Sorry. The red dwarf himself, the lion mane man.
Me.
Mr. Kanai, Dwarven Lion. And of course, see, I feel like it was going to be like the homeless guy with the
wow, ouch.
monkey.
I get it. I'm sorry. I think there was some miscommunication. We're not talking about Digimon World?
No, it's next week.
Oh. I'll just leave then.
If you're not, okay. I have a three-player setup. I have a three-player setup.
I was going to make that joke, but we know nothing about that game. So
we never will.
We never will. That's the key. They're not saying Digimon survive. They're saying Digimon, like, survive.
We are living Digimon survive. The Digimon in this game are the NFTs we're dealing with. We have.
Oh, no! How long till we get the NFT Digimon?
I have no idea, man. One day.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man. But yes, so currently, as we're sitting here recording this, we are about a week out from this game releasing. As of tomorrow, we'll have had it for a whole week. And we kind of want to sit down and talk about what we like about this game, what we dislike about the game, what we see the potential of this doing for the future of Pokemon, things that we think this improved upon, but things that could also still be improved on. But yeah, so I guess just to get started, Legends Arceus, cool new take on Pokemon, like a 3D. I almost want to call it an arena fighter in some cases, but until you actually throw the Pokeball out,
it's a more modern RPG.
Yeah. Okay. No, so I'm genuinely enjoying this game. I've said a couple times, this is like by no means a perfect game. There's a lot of just small, weird, nitpicky things that it's like, not sure why this feels the way that it does, but for a first step in changing what the formula for Pokemon's been for 25 years, it feels nice. I think it feels really refreshing. So I'm excited to see where everybody else stands with it. If anybody cares to give feedback, I know Connor's here.
Yeah, no, I know. I've been the one saying, like, I feel like I'm going to be the one everyone disagrees with.
You got a point. Chris, what did you think about Pokemon Legends Arceus?
So the same thing I've just been saying, if this game serves as the blueprint as to like Gen 9 or just like the future of Pokemon, I'm very satisfied. If this is like just laying the groundwork, because I enjoyed like everything in this game. I like the open world, I like the exploration, I liked being able to have like different movements, just the way like you can like interact with the world and what's there. I definitely enjoyed.
For sure. Kanai, how about you? What do you feel with Legends Arceus right now? I guess in terms of progress, Chris and I have both rolled credits on this game.
Yeah.
Kanai, you are 4 nobles in?
I just have to fight Avalugg.
Okay, and then Connor.
I'm the same.
Okay.
I'm just in the ice area.
Okay, so you guys are on the tail end of the story, so that way we all have an idea of where we're all at. Yeah, so so your take so far on Legends Arceus, how you stand with it?
I really like it. I think that it could stand to benefit from just like quality of life changes. Like bare minimum, just quality of life changes would make this game so much more like user friendly. But I love it. I don't know if it's good enough to be like the new mainstay system of the game.
Sure.
But like if we get side games like this, they're probably gonna pop off.
For sure. Yeah. All right, Connor.
Yeah.
How you feel about Pokemon Legends Arceus?
So I feel like I was the one who didn't fall in love with the game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate it by any means. I enjoyed playing it, but it's not a game where I've had the like, oh, I can't wait to get home and play Legends Arceus. Like, it's very much like I guess if I'm hanging out with people in Discord, I'll play because I don't have to think about it really. I kind of like to disagree with what Chris said. I kind of hope this isn't the new formula. I like this idea. I think this is a good stepping stone in a good direction for a bunch of great side games for Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Especially exploring like the past of regions and stuff like that. I think that's a really cool idea. I don't think I want Gen 9 or whatever to be this.
Okay.
I think the classic Pokemon format is like, for the most part, it works as long as they don't keep like trying to reinvent the wheel. And this just doesn't feel like it's the new face of Pokemon, but it feels like it could be a face of Pokemon. You know what I mean?
Sure. So, I guess as far as when you say you don't want this to like take over what Gen 9 would potentially be, is it more
Right.
all encompassing? Like you kind of, if they didn't make another game like this, you wouldn't be upset. Is it like, I like the way the combat works or how open the world is now. I just don't like the lack of gym leaders or like
right. So like the one thing that I think Arceus lacks is a structure.
Okay.
I think there's like there are Pokemon games, so they wanted to make these like progress points, right? Like gym battles in the original games. They wanted to make these points of like, yes, this is, you've progressed past a point, like a level cap or something. And they tried to do that with the star system.
Right.
And that just doesn't feel good. Like, it's a lot of grinding. And like, I know my first one I had to do, I was lost for a while because I was like, what do I do to increase this? And everyone's like, you just do stuff. I'm like, that's not like, do I catch Pokemon? They're like, that'll do it a little. And I'm like, okay, well, you fill out Pokedex entries too. I'm like, okay. Or like, do request. Like, it just felt like they wanted these progress points because the stars functionally act as the gym badges. They affect what Pokemon listen to you and all that. It's just a weird system that's very vague, and like, whereas the gym battles were like, okay, you go do this boss and you're done. And now you gain like a new level cap essentially. And this was just like, go do shit.
Right.
We're not telling you what, just do it.
Throw balls at things until the
right,
meter
yeah.
fills,
And I was like, I wasn't sure, because that's not really how I play Pokemon to begin with. Is I don't just catch literally everything, and this game encourages that. So it's a very different take.
Yeah. So I'm interested for Kanai and Chris, what you guys feel about the star system, because just since Cotter brought it up, I just hit star level 8 today, I think, either 7 or 8.
At the last one?
I think there's 10. Yeah.
There's 10. Okay.
So I just hit 8. I want to say 7 is the one that, because the level up progress of it is weird. I forget the first like 5 stages, but I think once you hit level 5, it's like Pokemon up to level 60 will listen to you. Level 6 is like Pokemon up to level 65. Level 7 is like Pokemon up to 80. And then I think level 80 is just all Pokemon will listen to you. So there's still these 2 tiers yet that I don't know what they will unlock or what progression they'll give. But do you feel like do they feel essential? Do they feel almost like not worked in properly? Or I guess the question is posed to either of you. I didn't really direct it to anyone, but
yeah. So I don't find them challenging. Like I kind of, and like I just streamed it today, and literally on the stream I was like, yeah, we're gonna make some story progress. I didn't do a single fucking ounce of story. I just ran around and captured shit because it was fun.
Yeah.
I was like, this is great. I love running around. I love the open world. Oh shit, did I miss a place here? Let's go there. Let's go here. Let's go there. So I would just like stop, turn around, like go catch something, and then like if I found something new on the map, great. I think the world is the bigger part for me than the stars, but the stars ultimately for me are like, oh, I'm getting rewarded for my exploration, and I'm getting rewarded for like my progress in the Pokédex, not necessarily like the strength of my team. And I think the story was like the big hint to me that like you just weren't gonna fight a lot of trainers in this game,
right?
Because at the beginning they're like, oh, you're able to catch Pokemon. Barely anybody in the village even has one. So like it's great that you just caught 3, and then like immediately when you're being told to the lady that you caught 3 Pokemon, she's like, 3 Pokemon? Our top survey course can like only have like 1 or 2. Like how did he catch 3? So like that immediately to me was like, hey, don't expect to fight people, like not a whole lot.
Yeah.
And then by the time I fought the first warden, I was like, here it is. It's cemented into me that like, you will fight trainers because they want to test themselves, but like ultimately it feels like you are the obstacle for them. And
Right.
because you are so different from them, it's hard for them to overcome you. Like that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah. I've sort of seen the wardens as like anytime you go to gym leader, you have the other trainers you have to fight before you get to the gym leader. The
Yeah.
wardens feel like those trainer when the noble Pokemon is my gym leader.
Right.
And with I mean there's 5 of them and I think each one of them is really, really cool. But it definitely feels like I feel like there's space in between with how much capturing you have to do and leveling up, and I don't know if capturing the same Pokemon has become repetitive enough where you're like, I'm kind of done with this yet. And not to get away from Chris, if you had any feedback on like the star system or anything.
Never really had a problem with it. There wasn't once in my initial first playthrough that I was barred off from progressing because the star system held me back.
Okay.
I thought it was fun. I liked how it encouraged you to do more than just the I'm gonna catch this Pokemon, prepare for this gym leader, and then I'm gonna just steamroll them. I liked that I actually got to like explore the world. I got to actually like do other things other than just battle the whole time.
Yeah.
And I feel like for me personally, like that was like the breath of fresh air that like I needed to like reinvest myself into Pokemon and just really like dial in with this one. Like this one, like I'm still like playing after I beat the game and I'm still feeling good about it. So yeah, no, like I'm just having a blast just filling out the dex entries, just trying to max out stuff so I could get shinies, and I'm just having fun again.
Yeah.
And like I feel like the star system played a big part of that.
Let me see. So because Kanai brought up battling like with trainers being so scarce, something a lot of, if not most of the trainers do, is they have some form of like 3v1 or 4v1 or you're always like outnumbered when you're fighting other trainers, or at least 10, 15 levels above you. How did you guys feel about, we'll say with the being outnumbered part? Because I think out of the gate for me, that was really frustrating.
100%.
And I think it was frustrating coupled with the turn order, which I think is super weird, where it's like, I could have, like, there's times where I'd send out an Arcanine against a Snorlax. And in my head, I'm like, Arcanine is definitely faster than Snorlax.
Right.
But Snorlax goes twice before I even get a move and my Arcanine's dead. And I'm like, I don't quite understand, at what point do I get to go first? Let alone when I'm fighting 3 Pokemon, so now they get 6 moves before any of my Pokemon get to attack. Like, was that equally frustrating for everyone else? Did you find a way around it?
Yeah. I was like really frustrated because there's like a few battles that I was just like completely over it, because like I would send out a Pokemon and they would move like 4 times. The only thing that I could like even like kind of think would be like that's how they really wanted to drive home using the strong and agile styles. Was being able to, it's like, well, if you want to get more than one turn in, use agile. If you want to like one shot something, go strong style. I think because like that's where like I had to kind of like get better at managing which one of those is I'm gonna do, and when especially. The thing that was mainly annoying for me personally was like moves like Rock Slide. In traditional Pokemon games, they hit both targets. This game, it only hits one.
Yeah.
And that was very annoying that they took out multi-hit moves to kind of like encourage this new system, which I get they don't want you to just Rock Slide twice and then KO 2 Pokemon at once. I could care less about the strong and agile style.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just keep it real. I didn't really care for it.
How about you, Connor? I know you had something there you were gonna say.
So I don't mind the idea of the more modern RPG turn order is cool. To compare it to like Digimon Cyber Sleuth, it was very much like, and a lot of other RPGs nowadays have this like stacked turn order on the side, and it shows you, okay, here's how the next 5 or 10 turns are gonna go. But then there are also ways to affect that, right? Like, if I do this, I'll slow myself down, but I might hit harder, like strong style. The issue is agile style and strong style. Like strong style definitely always affects my turn order. There are points where agile style doesn't. Like sometimes I still go second if I just do a normal attack.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem like a whole lot. I do agree. It feels like they were like yes, what we know as Pokemon is like in your example is like, okay, Arcanine outspeeds Snorlax, but it doesn't. And the whole thing is that is like, it was frustrating to me because one, I felt like coming in, one of the first things I realized, and you all told me about too, was like, oh, Pokemon have higher health. So I was like, okay, so we're gonna have these like bigger battles, and then it was like, oh no, they still die in a hit or two. Don't worry, like your Pokemon are gonna get what? Like, don't Nuzlocke this game, because your Pokemon get one shot by like a Starly, and you're just like, okay, sure. But and that's not saying I'm mad at the game at all. It's just like a weird thing to where they're like, here's boosted HP values, you still die in one hit, but now it's a lot more health. Isn't that exciting? Like it's just weird. I think we do need more ways to play with the turn order.
Yeah.
I think like agile style needed more of an impact than strong style did, or even like put in like double team, and then that increases your speed and therefore increases your turns or something. Like they played with moves in an interesting way in this game, and they played with statuses, which I was actually a big fan of how they changed around statuses.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
In the battles
too, yeah.
But there were moves that I think a lot of people who play like I do, and I think Danny does too, where like we don't really do stat moves that much. There were a lot of cool ways
if it don't do damage, it's not good.
Right. The only stat I care about lowering or increasing is HP. But like there were a lot of cool moves that we could have put in here that would have been like, instead of increasing evasiveness, this now increases your speed and therefore you now get another turn, or like you get more turns in this round, like whatever. And they didn't do that, and it's sad. And again, that's just a polish thing. That like if we get Legends, I mean, here, look, Nintendo ain't gonna do it, but like Legends Ho, Legends Lugia, Legends Suicune, whatever. Give me Gen 2 again, baby. But like if we did that, like I would hope we would get some more stuff like that.
Right. Absolutely. I don't know if you had anything for the 1v4s or the base of the new combat.
So the most annoying thing about it is that they presented these like, hey, this is going to be challenging unless you're prepared for it. That's kind of like the whole basis of the game, right? But then you're like, oh yeah, I'm prepared for this. I have Bulldoze. It hits the whole field. And then you go to use it and it's like, nope, hits one. And you're like,
yeah.
All right. So then you're like, Rock Slide. And it's like, nope, hits one. And it's like, okay, all these moves hit one thing. And that was a little frustrating, I will admit. It was just kind of something I had to get used to.
Right.
And like now that I'm used to it, I'm like, okay, threat assessment. Which one's the big scary one? Which one's gonna hurt my mon the most? And so the speed is affected by a lot of things, and I think that's why it seems less influential, because it's affected by your speed, the opponent's speed. It's affected by the speed of your move that you're using, and then which style you're using. So there's 4 factors in that, where strong style is just like, hey, this makes you move slower. So it like almost guarantees your opponent gets 2 turns. But if you can one-shot them, it's effective.
Right.
They messed with evasiveness in this in a weird way, where it almost lowers accuracy and evasiveness at the same time, because it kicks up like a dust storm or whatever.
Yeah.
And it just makes it harder to hit, and it's like a 50% chance you'll hit or miss, and it's ridiculous. But I do like the new status effects. I like Ice. I like Paralyze. Paralyze is pretty much the same, but the new like Ice is just the water's version of fire. I love that.
Yeah.
The Stealth Rocks, Pin Missile, and Spikes all being like basically new moves. I love them. I love the way they're set up. That they're just fire spin for those elements. They're great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm used to traditional RPG elements with like stuff like that. I've played so many games where like haste and stop and slow and like all of those spells and things affect turn order. And I've learned that it's not always about your immediate move next, because sometimes you'll use an agile style and you won't gain an extra move here. But down here, there'll be like 2 or 3 where you're lined up. And I think it's where those stones that you get, like the
grit stones and
the grit items. The grit items are insane.
I have stacks of them in my inventory. I have not used a single one yet.
Oh, really?
So maybe
huge.
So
you should. Yeah,
I have them sitting there. I was gonna literally just start shoving them down the throats of my team. But I'm like, okay, this one does okay, but this one. So if I get the EVs to how do I know if they're at 9? Okay, so I don't want that one. I'll do this later.
I went from getting steamrolled.
You can just max them all out.
Steamrolling. Like they make a drastic difference.
So earlier when I like first started Stream Danny, I was using the shiny Golbat trying to evolve it, and then the minute it hit Crobat, it like died like the first 3 or 4 fights it was in. And I was like, God damn, this thing cannot catch a break. And then I opened up my box and I was like, just gonna feed it a bunch of grit stuff. It's probably gonna be on my team the rest of the game. So I fed it all the way up to like level 10 in speed and attack and level 9 and everything else, and just one shot after one shot after one shot after one shot after one shot, tanking like everything. It would tank like lightning bolts or like rock moves. It would tank anything. And I was like, holy shit, they really should have put more emphasis on the grit stuff. Yeah. And because it just seems like it's a hidden mechanic. It's like, hey, it increases your stats, and it's like, oh, this is protein, cool. Or like, you know, it's those items, but it's not. It's just like, fuck, your Pokemon's amazing now, and there's no cap until it hits 10. 10 is a magic number in this game that repeats very frequently. 10 stars, 10 levels in the Pokédex, 10 levels for each of the like things. And I've just learned that like if it has a cap, it's probably 10. If it's not 10, it's divisible by 10. Like they definitely try to like simplify a lot of the stuff. Like, hey, if you see 10 or if you see 5, you're probably fine. But yeah, as for like speed, power, agile style, power style, or strong style, I could live with or without them. I think that they are more balanced. Like for the game that doesn't have a competitive scene, they're a more balanced option than a lot of the stuff we've been getting recently for the competitive scene. Just being like, I need this to move a little bit faster so I can sneak in some extra damage, or I don't mind going slower because I know I can tank it, but I'm going to bash this thing's head into a wall. Like there's a very large amount of like adaptability there that I like. I use strong and agile style almost constantly. Whether it's just like I need an extra move, like I'm like, oh, this move needs to be a little bit weaker so I don't kill this wild mon.
That's how I end up using agile style 90%.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So I use it that way. Another cool thing about it is it doesn't lower accuracy, and sometimes it makes you get a status effect and then immediately attack right after. So it's really good for like hex setups. Like if you're trying to kill and you're like paralyzed hex, really, really good.
That's how Ninetales killed me like almost immediately.
Yep. There's a lot of really cool shit you can do with the strong and agile style. It's just you really have to look at more than just like, this is my turn, then this guy's turn, then my turn, then this guy's turn. Because I think it shows up to 6. So like, I think you can even go further. Like I think you can even pop it out and like open up the whole lineup. Most games that have a lineup, you can do that, but like, it's definitely about setting up for a future game. It's just unfortunate that is in a game where the battle is decided in a single turn.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think that's one where I'm fine with how the I almost said totems. That's not there. That's from Son of Man.
Nobles.
The noble monsters are, or Pokemon. Like I'm almost fine with that. Like I like that they're not just a straight up slugfest. I do kind of agree. I wish that was where we got to experience more of like the intense battles and in-depth, like, okay, this is where like you kind of have to strategize. You can't just one-shot this thing. You know, this thing's gonna tank it and deal damage back. So now you have to like actually use agile and strong style like effectively, along with type and like I think that's where we could have had a really good like RPG moment.
Where you send out your whole team against just them, so you get to feel the reverse.
If we got like a raid boss thing with that would be pretty cool.
Honestly, one of the things I feel like was a huge miss after having max raid battles and like raid adventures and Sword and Shield with this new combat, and maybe it doesn't lend itself to it as well as like I'm imagining it does. But man, sitting there thinking about the 4 of us just like throwing out fucking Arcanines, Alpha Snorlaxes, Rhyperiors, Gudras, and being like, let's fight something big. I was
hoping to God we would get something like that. Like this would have been a really cool game because I mean, I don't play a whole lot of Pokemon outside of it when a new game comes out.
Yeah.
I was still like, for a while there, we went back to Sword and Shield and we were doing the max raid adventures because they're just fun.
Yeah, it was a nice like PvE substitute to like competitive Pokemon.
Absolutely. No, I would have loved something like that with this.
DLC, Nintendo, make your move.
I mean, Look, I'm curious to see if we do get Legends DLC or if we get like they're just gonna be like we're gonna improve it and work on the next game.
Yeah, I think we've talked a couple of times just through Discord and everything about like this being so similar to Monster Hunter. Imagining them being like, oh, here's like the first big update coming with the new Alpha Pokemon or the new Alpha Hisuian something or other.
Not going to do a free content.
That's fair. They will not. But thinking about like we've talked like, yo, if there's ever a time to upgrade Dunsparce, this is the game. Like the atmosphere is perfect.
I'm so upset we didn't get a Hisuian Dunsparce. Let me fucking tell you right now. Or an evolution. Like just give the little worm boy some love.
It just seemed like the perfect time, and maybe they have Hisuian forms they haven't shown off yet that they might want to like press forth and just haven't yet. I don't know what they plan to do with this.
If we get a DLC where we get to go to like, what's the Hisui is just the 4th gen, right? Like
it's just
Sinnoh,
Sinnoh,
right?
Yeah.
So what's that? Is that Sinnoh? Yeah, the Iron Isle or whatever. Like you know when you're in the one town where you get Cresselia,
yeah,
and you can like go on the boat.
Yeah.
Like that would be a cool little DLC location to go.
Sure.
Like, oh, here's a new area to explore,
Off
and it's
island,
a lot of like, yeah, that would be cool. Like they have things they could do that are similar to like Crown Tundra or Armor or Isle of Armor.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be cool to do in this game if it came with like, and I was saying quality of life improvements and stuff.
Yeah,
I would be more than interested in purchasing that. But yeah,
I like the idea. I just don't know. What they do. I don't know if they actually touch this game again.
It's only Dunsparce.
That's my thing. I'll let Kenai speak, but I don't think they will.
Yeah,
this is an important question, and if it's spoiler territory, do they utilize Giratina?
I don't have an answer for that yet.
Okay. Because I was going to say, a guaranteed amazing way to do a draw-in for DLC is, hey guys, Mirror World's open. Giratina's
absolutely.
Time and space. That'd be an
that's
incredible
draw-in. That's a really cool one.
Chris, do you know?
Incredible draw-in.
Do you know? So I could say I've beaten the story.
Something I can't talk on it.
Okay. Yeah, so I've beaten the story and I've done a few things that start pre-credits and then continue post-credits is all I've really touched on. I haven't done anything. Okay. I haven't done too much legendaries. I lie. I did the Darkrai stuff, which is the pre-order, not pre-order bonus. You have BDSP save data. Here's Darkrai.
Yeah.
So I've done that. Other than that, I haven't touched any other legendaries in post-game yet. I've been doing like Pokedex grinding.
I mean, that could be cool instead of like distortion fields to do
like mirror portals or something.
World areas or
That pretty dope, would be, honestly.
That would be cool. Chris, you were saying you don't think they're going to touch this game again? Are you too, Danny?
I don't think there's a single chance they do. I think they did everything that they needed to accomplish here.
Huh.
There's the part of me.
If they don't, I hope we get. I don't need obviously trailer images, nothing. I just want Nintendo to be like, yeah, we're working on another Legends game because this. Whether I necessarily like everything in it or not, it was a success, and that's like impossible to deny. Tons of people love this game, and so I hope we do get a Legend series. I think there's a lot of cool things to explore here. Whether that's all in the past or what, I don't know. I think that would be funny if that's like the tie through of like, yeah, Arceus is just fucking with you. Yeah, he's just like, send this kid back in time.
This was all fake.
Catch all the Pokemon.
None
it
of
was
it's
fun
real.
the first time. Yeah.
Honestly, so like 3 years ago, I've had this like roadmap of like, this is what Pokemon does. They do mainline, which every time we get a new gen. We do the remake timeline, which is Fire Red Leaf Green, Heart Gold Soul Silver, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. And then we had Let's Go, which I'm like, all right, cool. These are the 3 types of Pokemon games we could get at any time. Then we got BDSP, which is like not really on that remake track because now it's like we didn't really change anything. We just made the old game look prettier in 3D. We'll put quotes on prettier depending on your perspective. Which I'm like, okay, so there's 4 paths now, maybe. And now we have 5 with Legends. So I think at any given time, and within 4 months, we've gotten 2 new Pokemon games with BDSP and Legends Arceus. I know a lot of people think we're going to get Gen 9 by the end of 2022. Debatable. I'm not counting on it, but if we do...
I think 2023, 2024.
Yeah.
I think that's more accurate.
Sure. But yeah, I honestly, I like this game a lot. I like the changes, some changes, not everything. Like one of the biggest things that I love is how you can manipulate the move pool for your Pokemon in this game.
Yes.
Which, if there's anything, if they're like, we're going back to regular Pokemon formula, this wasn't it. Maybe people liked it, but it's not the game we want to build. That is the one thing I want them to carry over.
Right.
Yes.
And for context, if anyone happens to not know, basically instead of, oh, you leveled up, which one of your 4 moves you want to get rid of, your Pokemon just has a list of attacks that it knows. You just have to equip the 4 that you want it to have. So you don't have to delete a move, add a move. It's literally just a list of check it, add it, check it, take it off. And it
doesn't
is like,
cost anything.
Yep. You
literally don't have to go to an HP center.
Yep. You just
it was
buy it, own it, and you can change it at will. And it's phenomenal. I hope they keep
it's
that.
super. So like, I mean, so we all know it seems like they're trying very hard to get away from HMs as an idea.
Yeah.
Like yes, you will still need to unlock the ability to progress with that ability,
Mm.
but you will not be like you don't
I'll
have
have to take
put
up
on
a slot. Yeah.
Right.
Anybody else
So-
notice the joke about HMs when you get Sneasler?
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
With
I
the,
didn't.
Here.
Yeah. So it's almost like it knows a hidden move that lets it climb the mountainsides. But hidden
That's-
moves don't exist here in Hisui, and it's just like it's just fucking with you. Yeah.
But like, absolutely, that is like probably one of the best parts of it. It is like if we can just like, because I hated having a Pokemon dedicated to something, right? Like there's a difference where we've like, okay, this Pokemon does Hex, right? Like that's different. But when it's like, oh, here's my Pokemon I use when I'm trying to catch something, right? It's got False Swipe, it's got Thunder Wave, it's got all this stuff to help it out. Hypnosis, it's got this kit to like make it easy to catch. I hated that I had to waste a Pokemon on that.
yeah.
It's like now that like I have 2 Pokemon on my team that I can swap out for False Swipe whenever I want,
Right.
I'm like, perfect.
Golden.
Great. Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, so next I'd love to talk about the open world and how this kind of feels inspired from what the WoD area was in Sword and Shield. But before we do that, how about we hear a word from our sponsors? Today's episode of PlayLog is brought to you by Dubby. Dubby is a jitterless energy drink formulated to give you focus and energy with no jitters or crash. Dubby's formula contains vitamins, amino acids, and nootropics, including the patented Neurofactor. In total, Dubby contains a blend of 10 awesome ingredients teamed up to boost your focus and keep you at the top of your gameplay. Dubby's flavor recipes are one of a kind and custom made by Dubby. You won't find their exact flavor profiles anywhere else because they only exist with Dubby. No calories, no sugar, and no artificial colors. Aside from their signature drink mixes, Dubby also recently dropped new merch, new sticker kits, and even a Dubby starter pack. So if you're hesitant on spending your hard-earned money on something you might not like, but trust me, you will, then you can grab the starter pack, which gives you a Dubby shaker bottle and 3 packets of Dubby's iconic Dragonade flavor. The perfect way to try Dubby without having to buy an entire tub. So use either the link in the description or go to dubby.gg right now and use code CGDannyB at checkout for 10% off your order. Dubby Energy, be better.
Great.
Did you guys hear anything? I didn't hear anything.
Huh? It was done in post, Connor. Don't break the fourth wall, dog. Come on.
No, sorry.
I don't know. Is this Dubby? It might be merch. I'm not sure which this ad is. I'm not sure.
It's a great kind of legend.
We got a story about that. Then we'll do that off camera.
Oh, okay.
Listen, man, them TikTok numbers be meaning things. Anyway, yeah. So the open world in this game. A lot of people have complained visually, and I guess content wise, people don't love the open world. They say this for a game this advanced as far as Pokemon, it looks like dog shit. I don't know if anyone else feels that way. I don't think this game looks pretty, like, by any means. Like, this is no Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us or anything,
No.
but it's... I don't find the world ugly.
No, it's kind of generic. Like, this game could have really... This game would have really benefited from some, like, stylistic flourish, and I think no one would have complained.
Yeah.
What?
I was watching Chris charge his headphones. Just
No, I feel that, dude.
Danny asked a question, then it's just like powering off.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I made sure mine were charged today for this. I've been fighting that for the last 2 days. No, but like almost like not like a whole style redesign, but almost like a brush stroke around people, like instead of a hard outline, like a brush stroke like Okami or something.
Yeah.
Or like almost like the Skyward Sword, like kind of like filter that was over everything, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like something like that. I think no one would have complained about that, because then it would have been stylistic, right?
Right. And not so much like the Breath of the Wild, but not quite as good.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, so exploring this open world, we have all these beautiful traversal Pokemon. Now I know we've had traversal Pokemon since I think we started those in X and Y. Maybe it was Sun and Moon. One of them we started using. Yeah.
I think it was Sun and Moon.
Sun and Sun, because we still had HMs because they give you the labyrinth.
Yeah, that's right.
and turf.
That's true. But for me personally, I think this is probably the best experience I've had with the traversal Pokemon. I think I only have one major complaint with Basculegion. But even Basculegion feels phenomenal. And I think transitioning from one to another, like after unlocking all 5 and being at the point of, all right, cool, I'm flying in the air. There's a Pokemon I want. I dive down. As soon as I hit the water, I transition into Basculegion. I swim. I jump over an island. I land, immediately transition into Weirdeer. And it's not me pressing a bunch of buttons to change. It just automatically does everything I need it to. And every now and again, I get Ursaluna instead. I'm like, I want a little speed, so I go Weirdeer. Actually, now I think about it, Sneasler can be a little annoying too when you're just trying to walk and you're climbing every tree and pole that's in your path. But
Yeah.
Sneasler should have been one that's also like an automatic.
yeah,
Like you run into a wall for like more than a second, Sneasler
Just
comes
come-
out,
yeah.
and then you hit the top and you go back. Like that's my one complaint about it, is like
once I start hurling
That's
around
cool.
in a basket when I don't need to be. Yeah.
right, yeah. And Sneasler's no faster than you walking, by the way.
Yeah.
If anyone has not noticed, I figured that out. So there's literally no benefit unless you got to climb that wall. And I mean, I know Chris was watching me when I was really like kind of first playing the game. I was trying to Skyrim every wall I could with Weirdeer. Literally, I was just bashing my head, jumping into walls until I found like enough of a ledge where he hit it. I'm like, jump! Like, I did it a couple times. You can get there. It's just you got to struggle.
Let me see. Kanai, last night you and I were up pretty late playing, and
Yes.
we
Yes,
both
sir.
had a moment we were bitching about Basculegion, because we were both trying to shiny hunt.
So fucking hard to catch Pokemon on that
Yes.
fish. It is so hard. Because even if you're not moving, sometimes the water moves you. The Pokemon like dip under the water, and if they're like an inch underwater, your ball hits the surface and just like bobs.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't actually catch the Pokemon. So like you almost have to be ready to battle on the water, but like the water is the easiest place for you to get swarmed. Because
Right.
it's never just one Magikarp, it's like 6, which Magikarp's a bad example because they just know Splash.
Sure.
But hey, trust me, I know. I fought an alpha one and they'll do Splash at me. But yeah, like the water is such for as like much water is in some of the region, like some of the areas, it feels the most restrictive, and it's the only one you can toss Pokeballs while you're like in it.
Yeah.
So like for the one that seems like it has the most freedom, you end up missing and like having to go back, turn around, like waste 50 Pokeballs just trying to like hit this Tentacruel or hit that Finneon.
Yeah.
Like it goes around them, it goes over them, it goes under them, it hits the water, it bobs, like, and that sucks. The movement on Basculegion feels incredible.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
dashing along the water, double jumping, and then like turning into Weirdeer, or even just dropping it, sprinting, and then being like, which one do I need? Selecting it, hopping on, going. I don't have him yet, but I know Braviary, you just like soar up and then like duck down, and yeah, like that's amazing. That's all incredible. I see these videos that's just like best luck I've ever had, and dude, like Braviary's off a mountain, drops down to Basculegion, jumps on the land. There's like a shiny like Goomy or something. And I'm just like, that's so cool.
Yeah, dude,
like,
Basculegion's phenomenal for the most part. But yeah, controlling in the water can be such a headache.
Yeah, and if you would have told me 5 years ago that a Pokemon game would feel good with movement, I would have been like, you're fucking lying. It's all about, am I walking slow or running? Like that's all Pokemon movement's ever been. So getting this like crouching, sprinting, like getting all of those different momentums and like there's like a sound to it. Like I didn't think it was real, but like I see videos of people like sliding off cliffs, and there's a sound when you hit the ground, and the Pokemon are like, and just like turn and stare at you, and I'm like, oh shit, like I actually have to be careful about that. I can't just do it.
Yeah,
and like there's ways to distract them. You can like throw food at them, and they'll be like, oh, food.
Yeah.
But like the open world aspect of this game, it feels so good because it's so different than what we've had. We've always just had like something's gonna find me, and what I get is what I get. Like, you know, it's always been this random assortment where there's like biomes that are attached to different like environments here, and those biomes can contain different Pokemons based on the time of day and based on the weather, and it feels like a space that could exist without your player, because it feels like it's been established and you are just a new part of the ecosystem. Whereas like the wild area in Pokemon was like kind of like the foundation for it. It was like, hey, different weather, different place, different Pokemon. And building off of that idea and just making it open world with amazing movement is incredible to me. And the like I didn't care about the graphics really. It was a Pokemon game. It looked better than Sword and Shield, and there's so many moving parts that I can forgive it and forget it. Because there's the upwards of like 6 or 7 Pokemon attacking you all at once, and the game maintains its frames pretty well. So I didn't care too much about how it looked. I agree with Connor that there could have been some kind of stylistic choice that was like, hey, we chose to look this bad, instead of just being like, functionally, we have to look bad, otherwise it crashes. Like, and I'm sure people would understand that, but people would still be like, it looks bad and crashes, bad game.
Right.
So like, I'm glad that they chose a good function over like a nice polish, but something stylistic would have been great. Because just thinking about Okami, people still go back and play it based on how it looks.
You can still go. Okami's a PS2 game. You can still go play it, and it holds up perfectly. It's like Borderlands. All the Borderlands games are the same because they're stylistic, and I think this, like you said, and like I said, a lot of benefit could have come from it. I understand they didn't. Again, if we get a Legends series and the next game does that, excellent.
I think right now, at least rumor pool as to where the next Legends game is going to be going is probably going to be Legends Kyurem.
Ew!
So
cool that we all love Gen 5 here, baby.
Ew!
So
Why?
Hear me out, because I think if they're going to stick with this like Pokemon who can yank people throughout different places in time and history, Legends Hoopa. Yeah. Or
that's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear.
You take it a little more mysterious and you call it Pokemon Legends Unbound.
There it is.
And yeah, and it's just this like
I hear a fan game getting shut down right now.
Yo, okay. If Unbound gets shut down, we know what happened.
Con, you got a company there.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm gonna.
Yeah. So I really hope that in the, like, if we're going to continue this trend of doing the Legends game series, I hope we don't get the start of this game again, where we're getting pulled through time.
Yeah, okay.
That kind of took me out of it. I would have much rather preferred, like, actually, like, our characters from this time period.
Right, which is what I thought we had until,
right,
you know, the game actually started. I'm like, oh, we're in shorts and a t-shirt.
And then God gives you a cell phone and it becomes an isekai. Like, it's, like, that's all the game is.
I do like the comedy of that, where they're just like, there's this weirdo who fell from the sky. And it's like, why is he so good at Pokemon? Why is he so good at this? Like, it's pretty funny. And then you get, like, the one character who hates you. And they're like, how come you're good at Pokemon? And everyone else is like, he's a cool guy. Just let him be. And she's like, we should be asking questions.
I like to imagine, and this, I wouldn't say this is spoilers for No Way Home or anything, but the moment where, like, our trainer in their time was like, I'm getting ready to go fight Cynthia, like at the Elite Four, and like, or even like they're like, I've been training for Pokemon my whole life. I'm 10 years old. I think we're 15 in this game, but I'm 15-year-old. I'm gonna get my starter Pokemon today, and like you just rolled out of bed and just got teleported back in time, and you're like, you're supposed to be Turtwig, Chimchar, and Piplup. Something's wrong here. These are what's an Oshawott? I don't know what these Pokemon are.
Let's get a prequel comic or something. That'd be hilarious.
That's like a Berkeley thing right there.
Oshawott.
I like the idea that they were like, this is your BDSP character. That's why it has all the same skin tones and like styles starts. And I was like, okay. And then it was like they've been waiting 5 years for Arceus, and then Arceus just said, "You." It's like, this is your event now.
This is your story. Continue.
You know what? Here's an interesting theory. Let's get pokey theorizing here. What if your character is someone who went to try to catch Arceus, and he said, and he just whited you out? He's like, no, you don't go to the Pokemon Center. No. You don't mess with me and go heal?
Go back in time.
Yeah, isekai your ass.
I'm deleting all your Pokemon and sending you away. You're done.
100%. Delete save data.
Arceus is like, how did you get here? The Azure Feet was like, it wasn't even distributed. How did you get here? Action replay this shit? You're not supposed to be here.
I like that.
Like you show up at the gates of Arceus, and he's like, no hacks allowed, and just like,
no hacks allowed. Here's a cell phone.
Your punishment.
Here's a cell phone.
500 years isekai.
Oh man.
Or Arceus just becomes what fucking Mr. Rossetti becomes on crack.
Hey.
Mr. Rossetti is God.
Interesting. Going with, because we're making up our own little canon story here of what happened. How about the story for this game in terms of like storytelling that Game Freaks had before? I know when we got started, and this is something I kind of harped on yesterday because I had a couple people in chat. I won't spoil it because you guys haven't hit there yet. Chris will know. But there's a point where like you leave town and like this is your end point. Like you are going to the end of the game. You can't go back. And there's story elements to it that I completely missed. And I think I blamed it. Now, I won't say blamed it, but when I started the game, I was playing with Chris and Kanai, who were both already an hour in. And in my head, I'm like, there's so much I want to keep going. Like, I want to catch up and see the fun things that they're seeing. So like and also we started the stream with a fucking Elmo impression. So I was just like not really invested in listening to Beanie Man talk to me on the beach about how to catch a Pokemon after 25 years, etc. I know it's a new mechanic and everything. But as I continue to progress, I found myself like, maybe I'll read this line of dialogue. I'm just going to spam A and just, okay, Arceus, go to catch this Pokemon. Okay. Yeah. And all the way through to the end, like I didn't catch the big reason what pushes us out of town to go then complete the story. And someone in chat's like, did you not even read? I'm like, I didn't read for the first 7 hours because I was in chat with 4 friends.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And like, it's Pokemon. Like, Pokemon's not known for delivering heavy narratives and compelling stories, honestly.
Except Gen 5.
I mean,
You have it. Nimbasa City, Connor.
No, but yeah, I still kind of skip through. I maybe catch every now and again. I'll pay attention, but like honestly, I'm just like, I get to an area, I'm like, wow, you really interrupted me running around for this. So let's get back to the running around part.
How about you, Chris? How's the story for? And you're obviously your post game, so you've got a little bit more. We'll say you got a little bit more story. I don't know how much more is harped upon then, but.
I got like the same story you did.
Okay.
So like I caught on to like all the reasonings for everything. I was like, okay, it's a Pokemon game. But like just based off like how the game started, I was like, okay, so this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. This guy, it was very predictable.
Sure.
It was, I mean, like it's a kid's game. It's not in-depth storytelling. You're not gonna get like a Mass Effect 2 level story out of this.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm playing Pokemon for. I'm not playing it for the story. If you're playing it for the story, you're playing the wrong game. But yeah, no, like it was okay.
Yeah. You love that story? Really invested in?
I don't hate it. I like the story of the world. Like,
sure.
How much these characters know, like the very clear, like established history they have, like the
Diamond Clan
lore
versus
of this
Pro
world.
Clan.
Yeah, it's all really interesting. But I feel like you get to see so little of that because, like, the minute you meet them, they're like, "Go beat up Cleavor," and you're like, oh, "Okay, whatever." And the guy's just like, "Yeah, go beat him up. Go, leave my office. Let them argue. Go." And then like you go, and it's like, oh, "You did it. You beat up Cleavor. Go beat up the other one." And you're like, "Oh, okay." Sure, whatever. I'll just throw sacks of cocaine at this thing. But like, yeah, like
I'm glad I wasn't the only one making the joke.
Wes clipped it in my stream earlier, but it was I was like, yeah. So basically, you throw sacks of cocaine until these things pass out, and then you revive them with adrenaline, and they're fine. But
Yeah.
but yeah, like it's an all right story for your character, because literally there was a point where I was reading it, and it like the part I was reading annoyed me, because he was like you have to understand, you might be talented and you might be helping these people, but that doesn't mean they trust you. You still fell out of the sky like a very short time ago.
Sounds like some Melly dialogue right there. Is that
right? No. It was the main guy in the yellow with the mustache, and I was like,
oh,
why? Like I'm literally doing nothing but helping their land.
yeah.
And he's saying that like people still don't trust me, and then you go outside and everybody's like, "Oh my, they hear peace we," and I'm like, "They don't trust me." All right, but like yeah, like I was saying, the lore of the world is really impressive to me. I think they really nailed it with like a backstory for this place. I think that they fell short on your character's involvement in it,
Right.
and I think that's it. Like,
You're just kind of the
lore-
hero because you're the playable character. Like,
exactly.
it's-
Yeah, lore like 8 out of 10. Story wise, maybe like a 5 out of 10. Like it's.
I'm excited for both of you two to get to the end, because Chris and we both beaten the game, and I think cinematically, this shit kicks off at the end.
Yeah.
And again, not like the most impressive thing I've ever seen in my life, but in terms of like I'm getting to the end of a Pokemon game, I was impressed. And I had said to Kanai and Chris last night, we'd hopped in the call. I'm like, listen, y'all, I said, and at this point, I won't show image or anything, but we know there's new forms of Dialga and Palkia. I was like, I did not like Palkia. Man, that cutscene was pretty badass.
They keep doing them
was,
dirty, man.
Yeah, I was like, still wish he had arms, but man, that was a cool cutscene, dude. That was pretty dope.
I really like some of the cutscenes for the warden, or not the wardens, the nobles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
Arcanine's
seeing
phenomenal.
Cleavor just like spin and swing his arms around and like lean
yeah.
in front of you and do the roar. I was like, wow, that is not what I expected to see. I think Lilligant so far is like the least impressive.
That's fair.
It just kind of does some flips, and I was like, okay, cool.
Arcanine's kicks ass.
Arcanine's was amazing, dude. I was like that I was dialed into the story. I was like,
Yeah,
so this
same.
noble died.
Of course,
and
you're
then,
dialed
like,
into Arcanine. Come on.
Yeah, dude, of course I was. The game loves me for it. It was like, you're gonna praise me, take your Growlithe, feel good about this game. No, but like seeing that scene where it's like, oh, which one of these do you think is like the noble's kid? And like obviously they want you to pick the big one, so you can be like, actually, this runt of the litter is like the child of the noble. And like you're just following the story of like, oh, these people kidnap. It was the wrong Arcanine, right? They kidnapped the big one.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and like they're like, yeah, we're gonna take over the noble. Like, there's no noble here. We can do whatever we want. And then it's like the little one is like, no, give me back my Arcanine. Like, give me back my friend or my Growlithe. And he turns into Arcanine and just like giant volcano dog just wrecks these people. I was like, that's amazing. The fight was annoying because the movement that it feels so good throughout the game is great, except for when you're on a like X of land like
Yes.
this. Yeah. And you have to dodge a thing that takes up the whole lane. That was
Yeah.
annoying.
The terrain for that fight is not ideal. There was a couple
It
times
is,
where I got like
yeah.
locked on a small island, and
Yes. Yeah.
I
thought
spent
was gonna
like
die.
2 minutes where like Arcanine was doing not really spoilers for the
Flare
fight,
Blitz,
but he would,
probably.
yeah, he flare blitz to you, and then he turns to you again, and then goes that way.
Yep.
But instead of turning to me, he would kind of turn like 45 degrees away
Yeah.
from me. So he'd like dash next to me and then go and like go in a triangle, but like the fire never went down, so I was kind of stuck here. And I'm like, once he comes back, cocaine. All right, see you in 40. cocaine. All right, and rinse and repeat until I finally beat him. But it definitely got tedious.
Yeah, that was the only fight I died in. Was the Arcanine one, and that's just because like you go from like having like larger like fields where like you can like at least like dodge roll out of the way to having like this much space.
Yeah,
Is
you have
that
a
you go this way
coaster.
or this way, you can't go anywhere
Yeah.
else. Like you don't have like a whole like area you can just being limited is what really just stopped it.
Yeah. It's but I think the noble fights are cool. I think it's a fun transition. I personally would like to have seen more of them. I know it's probably a lot to create one for each territory within the world, but if we would get another Legends that's like, all right, cool, here's whatever new Hisuian forms, whatever the new region would be called, and there's an equated amount of gym leaders for nobles, like there's 8 of them. I think that'd be really cool and add a little bit more longevity and maybe step back on the whole. Just catch the same Pokemon 40 times and fill out the decks. Okay. But
I like the watch them use moves in this, defeated with like the I like
that's
that.
Cool. That is fun.
Because that is like genuine research, but I think like evolve and catch should both be at 1 and they both give you a point. That way I don't think they should be promoting more captures. They should be promoting more battles. That way you learn to like the Pokemon. Because if you don't use it, you're not going to like it.
Yeah. If I learned that I've released like 90 Starlies of just like I just needed it for data. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, cool, they're gone now.
But like catching it without being seen, good one. Catching an alpha, good one. Because alphas do promote more captures because they're bigger. So they're different, like they're different forms. And a lot of people, speaking of different forms, a lot of people are complaining that shinies are too easy, but then alpha shinies are super hard to get. So like it's still kind of rare.
Yeah. Speaking of shinies,
we all have shinies.
So out of all, we all have shinies. It's a Mario Party joke. Out of everyone here, Connor, you said you don't have a shiny yet.
Dude, I didn't even do the Ponyta yet.
Oh, dude, get the free horse.
It's free.
I know, but I was too busy running around.
I think I literally did it right before like the whole like this is the end point. Are you sure you want to go? Like I was like the last thing I did before like the final fight.
Have you guys seen Pokepolitics on TikTok?
Yes. Yeah. He's all right wing. Yeah.
It's this guy who's dressed in like very stereotypical like conservative clothing, like country music clothing, and he's always just like I don't take no free handouts and like all that stuff, and he's just like he's like it's like the game gave me my liberal horse and I released it on site. I don't take handouts, and I was like, shut up.
Okay.
What's the one? It's like I don't use any Pokemon that don't have a gender.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's great that he could just get away with. Like, I feel like there's someone out there that gets super offended by those jokes, but I think they're in good fun.
For sure.
I think they're
100%. There has
great parody.
Exactly. They're a parody of some people's actual thinking, and I think that's what makes them lighthearted enough to be okay.
But yeah, so far as shinies go, Chris. Well, I have, including the Ponyta, I have 3. I have my Machamp, and I just got a Teddy Ursa like 10 minutes before we sat down to record this. Chris, we'll save it for last because you're a monster. I hate you. So can I? What are your shinies looking at these days?
Including the Ponyta. There's the Ponyta. I caught a Golbat that is now a Crobat. I caught a Growlithe that is now an Arcanine, and I have a Staraptor that was once a Staravia.
All right, Chris, what are your starter shinies looking like?
Pulled out the notepad, starts reading it off.
Okay, well,
he just pulls out the encyclopedia. Like, let me see him.
So, the 2 like full odds like just found randomly like no outbreak events. I got a Toxicroak and a Burmy. And then through the outbreak events, I got a Combee, a Goomy, the Machop, the Magikarp, and I have a shiny Braviary. And then obviously the shiny Ponyta.
Well, hold on, Connor. We can make it feel a little bit better. Chris, tell us about that shiny Combee.
It's a male.
I got a So he can't evolve his Combee. So he's got a shiny Combee that can't become a Vespiquen, which is, I won't lie, it makes me feel a little bit better. Hopefully we'll get some more shinies here and we can be like, all right, we're all good. We're all good.
Dude, I was really, the one I'm excited the most about was getting the shiny Braviary. Because that color palette is just amazing.
I definitely want one of those.
So I was like, man, this weird air scares me. I'm just going to sprint past shinies. And what was happening is that night I was running back to the base, and I'm just like sprinting up this mountain, and I'm just like, shut up, Zubat, shut up, Zubat, shut up, Zubat. Giant green bat appears in front of him. I'm like, stop, stop. And I just like turn around and just like save it, throw the ball. It doesn't get in. I'm like, I'm fighting you. Get over here. But yeah, the Golbat was my first one. Yeah. And then like not even 15, 20 minutes later, I'm doing some mission on an island, and I hear the shiny noise again. And I was like, no fucking way. Yeah. And like I'm looking around and I'm like, I don't see the shiny. There's nothing that looks different. And then I remember all the birds just look the same. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'll throw the ball at the Staravia. And then I started the battle and it did the sparkle. And I was like, there it is.
There you are, you stinker. Yeah.
So now I have my sepia bird.
Yeah, I don't have too many stories of mine. I got Teddy Ursa, Machoke. Last night, like I said, we were up late playing. Kept doing outbreaks, wasn't getting anything. I'm like, all right, cool, I'm gonna go to bed. But I'm laying in bed. I'm like, I got one more in me. I'm doing one more. So I did the outbreak for Machoke. I didn't even reset. I went out for Machoke. I watched Muscle Man, and then little ugly green Muscle Man pop up in the distance. I'm like, oh, he's just far away. Nah, homie's like 3 feet tall. But he's just
like him actual Muscle Man.
No, but I should have.
Because he's green. You can rename him. You can rename him.
You can rename him. I'm not much outside of Soul Link and Nuzlocke. I tend not to rename. Just I don't know.
That's fair.
Dumb, but. Yeah. So he was my first official shiny in Legends Arceus. Hopefully we can get some better ones.
I'm just saying, shiny Machamp is ugly.
Yeah. And then Chris and I, we just trade our Machokes to both get a shiny Machamp. Yeah. And now we're like, all right, cool.
Just all green.
Yes, shiny. Connor, you will get what if you could pick your first shiny. What do you hope it is?
Dunsparce.
Dunsparce.
Oh man. If I'm walking around, I would love. I think I'd love a fucking. I really like History and Voltorb. I would love a shiny Voltorb.
Is he still just blue?
I don't know. Let's do a quick Google here. History and Voltorb shiny.
Shiny Houston sauce. What?
What?
I tried to Google History and Voltorb.
Oh, looks like it might be black. So that's neat. Maybe not. I'm not seeing any official like renders.
Yeah, Attack of the Fanboy shows it's black instead of red.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd take
that's
that.
Cool.
I mean, I think like Heracross would be a good one.
Yeah, Heracross would be a dope one.
I mean, even if it is a big pink beetle, I'd take it. Something like that. Obviously, a Pokemon I like. I mean, I'm not gonna turn my nose up at a shiny though.
Sure.
Willingly, that I know is a shiny. It's like it's not one of those dumb ones. It's like I have 1.5 of a shade bluer.
Well, hopefully we'll find out on social media.
Gabite.
Yeah, Gab. Yeah, they're kind of stinky. Gengar, Pikachu, your shinies suck.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone else have anything we didn't really talk about? You want to say about Legends Arceus or?
I think I got my gripes out.
So, if I had to pick some of the quality of life things to change, let me move from area to area. Don't make me go back to town.
Totally.
Yes, that's like the fact that there's not like a fly option like that is weird. And I guess you could argue loading screens, but
yeah. I'd asked Chris though the one night. I'm like, Chris, I feel like I'm dumb for asking this, but can I go to other places? Do I have to go back to the village? He's like, I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah. I'm like, someone's gonna be like, you idiot, just click on it. I'm like, I tried, I don't know.
Because the thing was, it's like as he asked that, like I was trying to figure that out, and like I went to a completely separate map, and I was like, can I just fast travel? And I'm like clicking on the thing, I'm like button mashing it, and I'm like, nope.
Yeah, you have to return to Laventon, turn in whatever dex data you got, if you got any, then go back to village, then pick your new spot.
Which I kind of get why. I just really hate that's how like you have to do it, because like every time you go back to the city and then go into something else, it's loading up a shiny table.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it's fucking annoying that way.
Yeah.
Like it's like I just want to be able to just jump from area to area. I don't care about a color palette swap all that much.
I think it does feel like a downgrade after Sword and Shield. Like if you pop in the wild area from the train station, you can go from one end to the other without having to go through doors or gates. It's one big area. So it definitely felt like probably one of the biggest downgrades, wild area wise. But that was something I like changed too.
One of the other ones is, and speaking of like, if you're gonna make this change and like not keep it consistent, like, and I get it, this is a time period thing.
Mm-hmm.
I miss being able to switch my Pokemon on the fly.
Yeah.
I wish.
That's an annoying. I mean, you could still argue you could do like a messenger Starly or something, you know?
Right,
like,
and I would even they have so many of like the scouts that are just like out and about. Like it would be so easy to just talk to them like you do the guy by the camp and just be like, hey, like take me back, like or not take me back, but like can I swap out my Pokemon? Yeah. So
even
like,
if we cheat with the Arceus phone, that I can somehow.
Right. Yeah. No, that was a big annoyance. For sure.
But those are like the two biggest things I have about it, other than like the things I've already said, like, hey, if you're gonna like the multi-hit moves, like bring those back.
Yeah.
The move pool for me does feel a little limited. Like I think I said it earlier. I was like, every ground type has Bulldoze, and if they don't have Bulldoze, they have high horsepower. Like those are like the two ground moves in the game. There's no Surf that I've seen. I've only seen what's his name? Wave Crash. I've seen that. I just feel like I don't think I've seen Flare Blitz or Wild Charge. I think I've only seen like
Flare Blitz, Arcanine.
Wild Charge is in here.
Yeah, Wild Charge is in the game.
I just keep seeing like Ice Fang and Electric Fang and like I keep seeing those.
Yeah.
But like I feel like the move pool was nerfed. And I get it, animations can be rough, and like I'll be real, for the moves that are in it, the animations look pretty good. Like I love when what is it, Bulldoze? I love when Bulldoze happens and they like do the jumping animation. I love that. Or if it's Rhyperior, he like stomps in like alternating legs. It's great. But yeah, the move pool feels low.
Yeah, definitely. Like, and I'm trying to think early game. Maybe I didn't use them enough, or I stuck with my starter for too long. But I sat and thought like things like Tail Whip, Growl, even like some of the base moves were just like, are they here? Do they even exist? Which, not that I needed them.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, definitely watching some of my Pokemon grow and almost even like missing them leveling up. Like I'd see like, they mastered a move, which now I can do Agile and Strong. Right. But like last night I was like, what can I give Electivire? Because his whole level up set is electric type.
Yeah,
moves.
all electric. Yeah.
And I was like, what can I give him? And you're like, give him this, 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 and this. I'm like, that's literally what he has. Like I think you said it as like a joke. I'm like, yeah, Thunder Wave, Thunder Punch, Thunder, and like Thunder Shock were like his 4 attacks. Ended up giving him like Ice Punch and a few other odds and ends here. But yeah, I feel like I never see like because it doesn't prompt me with the, do you want to change your attack? It's just like new move unlocked, and if I don't open the list and check it,
I think,
like so and so thought of a new move. I see a lot too.
Or like even if we got like a new, like in your menu there was now like a little thing like a little dot next to their icon or whatever that was like, oh hey, they have a new move, right? Because I don't always look at the level up because it's like just off to the side, and honestly you level up pretty fast in this game because everything you do gives you experience. Which isn't a complaint. It's just that's how it is. So I Pokemon's gaining like a level within 2 minutes of each other.
Yeah.
Because like, I just sent one out to do a bunch of stuff and then I found something. But like, yeah, I think an icon, like some visual clarity on that. This is a weird, super nitpicky complaint. I kind of wish some of the menus looked less like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I get that.
I think they could have really dove into the like old Japanese style and like woodworked and stuff, like cool menus, and they didn't. And again, that's just a little level of polish that would have really like helped. And I get it, that's asking a lot. Again, Legend series, second game, hopefully they fix a lot of that. But
no, go ahead.
I'd say that honestly my complaints are either what can I was saying, quality of life, or man, this is missing a lot of like the polish Nintendo typically puts on games.
Yeah, totally agree. You talking about menus did remind me. There's one more thing that I understood but wish was less painful, and that was the inventory space.
Yes. Screw that.
The amount of times where I run back to the building and I have to here's $200 to get another slot, and then I think I've bought like 10, 15 slots, and I still feel like I don't have enough space.
Yeah.
I'm always like having to buy more, and now I'm at the point where I think I have to spend like $15,000 for another spot, which I'm like, that's one slot that like if I pick up a spoiled apricorn by accident or like, something in my inventory, I'm like, oh, cool. Now I can't pick up this shard that I need to make money, back home, whatever. So, I don't need a bottomless bag, and I also don't want any kind of like over encumbrance type of thing. But yeah, inventory was a pain in the ass throughout this game.
Yeah. I had an issue with inventory until I realized I could craft from the box, like back in the village, and you can even do it in your campsite.
Right.
So like, I think what I end up doing is like I stop back, drop everything off at the box, and then I'm like, unless it's Pokeballs, that's the only thing I don't really drop off. Pokeballs always stay with me, and if I know I'm going to be going to like a big battle, I'll grab a couple of revives and like hyper potions.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, yeah, 100%. The way you upgrade it's pretty dookie. Like the amount of space period's pretty ass. Like I'm just not a fan of, because there's never been like a limited bag before unless it's like original Pokemon game, right?
Right. That back in the day, there was like there's too
Yeah.
many slots, or like it's too full. But
Yeah.
I think since like Gen 3,
Gen 3.
has been an issue.
So like that feels a little bad because that's been like 20 years. But yeah, I get it. They wanted to make you use the box. They wanted to make you like realize you could do that stuff. But at the same time, tell us,
Yeah.
I get it. Don't handhold, but also like if you don't tell us, we're gonna get frustrated until we figure it out. And by the time we figure it out, we're already frustrated.
Yeah. Sweet. So yeah, Legends Arceus, chill game. There's our feedback on it. Before we wrap up, because I don't want to hold Chris from stream too much longer. I know I've already got him here, and I appreciate it for it. I asked you guys to send me pictures of your current squads, like who your team is in Legends Arceus.
Yes, sir.
So let's hop on over here. We'll start with Mr. Danny's team. So most of this team, actually half of it has been with me the entire time. The other half I've added here going into the post game or at the tail end. Obviously I started with Rowlet. He was my starter. I grabbed, as soon as I got Hisuian Growlithe, I had a Firestone. I evolved it. And I've had Arcanine on my team fairly early on. And same for Gastrodon as soon as I had him. I ended up swapping out Luxray for Electivire, who looks high as hell in this picture. And then I caught an Alpha Gumi and immediately threw him on the team. So now I have an Alpha Gudra. And to swap out Staraptor, I've wanted to put on Honchkrow, but instead I threw on Dusclops or Dusknoir because I'm like, listen, ghost types are cool. So no like crazy fun stories with any of my guys, but I like my big ass dragon just chilling in the background and my edgy bird.
He is huge.
He is very big. I love him. I love the alphas in this game. I don't know how many alphas each person has. I know Connor, you have two. And I'm excited to see yours.
Yeah.
I don't
and I
think
had one
I
I
can
was
count.
rocking on my team.
Just fix Connor's face a little bit. Cool. Let me see who else I got here. Kanai's team. Can I talk about your boys?
Oh god, these guys.
Talk about a family portrait.
Yeah, they change a lot. Like obviously the Arcanine I just got the day of recording. The Golbat I got the day before recording. So like, I mean, actually the Golbat evolved today, but like, yeah, like I don't know. I change them out almost constantly. I wasn't upset about it. I was just like, man, every time I add one, it changes up my type dynamics. So I got to change it again. And no, these guys just work. Like I have so much type coverage. Caesar I have instead of Cleavor because I just got Black Augurite where I'm at. Like it took me that long.
You don't have a starter on your team.
So, I got Typhlosion, and then the minute I got Typhlosion, I was like, cool, I have Typhlosion. And then just right in the box. I am not typically that way. My starter is usually with me the entire time. But like every time Typhlosion interacted with anything, it was instantly dead. It was just murder on sight. So I was like, I'm tired of this. I don't care if I have to have a whole team of tanks. I'm tired of getting one shot by literally everything.
Did that come down to like the speed mechanic again of like he just never went first, so he always got one shot?
No.
Was he like a glass cannon? Okay.
He went first a lot. He would either get him to like 1 HP and then just die, so then he wouldn't get XP until I revived him, or he would just sit there and gain XP and just be a little leech. But like I just
the leech.
I just couldn't, man. I tried using him for like most of the game. I think I literally had him until I think I just got rid of him right after the Arcanine fight. And I was like, yeah, this is nope, I'm good. But it also came down to if I'm gonna have a fire type, it's probably gonna be Arcanine, and if I'm gonna have a ghost type, it's probably gonna be Basculegion.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And again, like I said, I try and make a spread, so like there shouldn't be any overlapping in this picture. I don't think there is.
Just quick, Anna. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Look at that. I love looking at your Mamoswine who's just rolling his
Dude,
eyes
he's
at
just
everything
done.
happening.
I want an alpha
set up at
Mamoswine
all.
so bad now. I just want to see how big he gets.
I call him before we
That's
start
him.
to record.
That's him right there.
Oh yeah.
He's such a
That's
big
Is that
an
boy.
alpha?
Yeah.
Oh, he's so big.
That's all. No, that's not an alpha Crobat. If it was a shiny alpha Crobat, I would have made
It
way
should
bigger. of a
be
deal.
a-
No,
It
dude,
should be
Crobat's
alpha.
huge to begin
Yeah.
with. He looks alpha by default.
Yeah.
Crobat is an alpha dog.
Crobat
Let's
is
see
alpha.
here. Connor's team. Connor, I love your
Oh
portrait.
boy! All right, so my team. I knew I wanted a Hisuian Electrode. I really loved. I don't know why. I really like this Voltorb. I'm not a huge Voltorb fanboy to begin with, but Grass and Electric is really fun typing. That's an Alpha Togekiss. Because I found an Alpha Togepi and he was like up to my character's waist, and I'm like, this is hilarious. So
You spent that whole day being like, egg. Egg.
dude, absolutely.
Look at my egg.
His name is Omelet. So I caught him and I was like, he'll be on my team. And then like I wasn't gonna use another flyer because at first my original plan was gonna use like, something weird like Young Mega. But then I was like Togekiss, and then I got to the area with Gligar and I'm like, I like Gliscor a lot. Found an Alpha Gligar. Turned him in, so that's an Alpha Gliscor. So that's why they're both like 747s. Typhlosion, my favorite Pokemon of all time. He swims okay. The typing's cool. I don't know why they keep doing him dirty and just keeping the fire off all the time.
Yeah.
But no. So I'm sorry. I didn't even go through the names. The Electrode's Chestnut. The Togekiss is Omelet. Gliscor is Clamps. The the Typhlosion is Wisp. Cleavor is Hachiman. Which I really like Cleavor too. I like bug types to begin with. Bug Rock was cool. Cleavor is a cool type, cool looking Pokemon. And then I really felt like I needed a water type, so the Floatzel is David.
Hey guys, David here. What's going on?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I love
No,
like
I like these guys a lot. I try to be like Kanai and not do overlap.
yeah.
So the double flying's a little painful, but they both cover a wide range on their own.
Sure.
Like Togekiss still gets some Psychic. Gliscor gets a whole move pool that it's like, here's types he should be considered, but he's not. So I think it's fine.
Yeah. I was just like looking at Typhlosion. He's like, I know he's sleeping, but homie just looks
everyone was
tired or
perfect,
annoyed
and then he
or
wasn't.
Good old high flosion.
again. All right, and last but certainly not least, Christopher's team over here.
Yeah, so the only Pokemon on here that are not alphas are the Braviary and the Basculegion. But Ursaring, well, Ursaluna in the back, he's Schlump.
He's Schlump.
He's sleeping. Gudra, again, alpha, I love him. And then we got Cleavor, who's probably like my favorite new form. I love Hisuian. Cleavor, I just love him a whole lot. Like, Basculegion and Cleavor are tied for top. And then, of course, I gotta have the boy Machamp. You know, you can't just throw, like, my second favorite Pokemon of all time in a game and expect me not to use them.
But it's not your shiny one, Chris. What the hell?
You know, I like regular colors. I don't like green. I don't like green Machamp.
Fair enough.
Like Blue Duck.
Yeah, look at that.
That blue
Braviary.
deck. Yeah, I love that so much. It's so good. The black and the blue. Ah,
Mm.
damn, so pretty.
Makes it look like it should be a dark type.
Honestly, he's just flying psychic. Yeah.
Yeah, flying psychic. Yeah, for my teams, I normally just go for like whatever I think looks the coolest, whatever I like the most, and this is just what I ended on.
Yeah.
Lugia
Because
Junior over there.
I kept getting upset every time I found something new, because like I was like, I don't want to reteach something.
Yeah.
I really don't want to teach a whole team, because like I was using Weirdeer for like the longest time. I got Hisui and Zoroark. All of them fantastic. I got Decidueye. I loved using all of them, but this team is my current team that's just running shop, and it's just amazing. I love them.
I love to see it. And I think that's just about a wrap on our review of Pokemon Legends Arceus. I want to thank you guys for joining me. As we wrap up here, I'd love to just everyone take like a 30-second moment of just like, hey, here's my plug. And so like Chris, just a 30-second like elevator pitch. Who are you? Where are you? Plug yourself. Go.
All right. As you guys probably as Danny pointed out in the intro, we're Soul partners over on. You can find me over on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, everywhere. Variety streamer. I like to play a lot of different games. I wear a lot of hats. Jack of all trades, master of absolutely none.
Perfect. Connor, and give your elevator pitch.
Yeah, I am. You can find me over at Twitch at HoboMonkey, H0B0Monkey. I also do variety streamings. I like a lot of different things. Roguelikes. Just played Description for the first time. Great game. Also over on Twitter, where that is turning into my random ramblings and Wordle scores.
Wait till we start posting Squirtle scores.
You should start.
We should. I'd do
That's
that.
a video right there, baby.
But no, absolutely. I just kind of chill, have a good time, just hang out. Apparently, play Slime Rancher and talk about my feelings, which is weird. Anyway,
Connor's a Slime Rancher streamer.
I'm that. You know me, the slimy boy, just the goo boy slinging my goo.
I'm gonna clip that. Just the goo boy slinging his goo.
I'll say that. You can ask me to record it for you. I'll do it.
And of course, Kanai, elevator pitch for yourself.
My name is Kanai. You can find me at Dwarven_Lion. Twitch, I would say YouTube, but YouTube's a mess for me right now. Every time I go to post something, I'm like, fuck, it's gone. And then like every time it's there, I'm like, yeah. And then it's like copyright strike. And I'm like, no, it's not monetized. Leave me alone. But like, yeah, YouTube's a mess for me. But if you want to follow, feel free. Instagram is where I post the most. I've been posting my shiny captures on there. I post on Twitter every now and again, like when I'm watching anime or doing something like that. I'll give like live reactions to it as I'm watching. But yeah, you can mostly Twitch. You'll guys mostly find me on Twitch at least once or twice a week. Sundays are my like almost guaranteed day unless something's up. But I stream everything.
Perfect. And of
Literally
course.
everything all at once.
And of course, as you guys are surely know, CGDannyB, you can find me everywhere. Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. If you're on TikTok, you're here from Elmo. I appreciate you guys watching the podcast. I know this isn't your Elmo content you're looking for, but trust me, there's plenty.
Get it in there.
Absolutely. But guys, thank you so much for watching the podcast. Let us know in the comments, what did you think about Legends Arceus? Did you agree with our thoughts? Anything you think you would want to change? Things you want to keep? Things we didn't like that you did? Sound off. Let us know what you're feeling, what you're looking forward to in the future Pokemon, what you think we're going to get out of this in our next... You guys good?
It was like, yeah, you got to get it in there, Danny, and you're just like,
You're like, no.
absolutely,
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
This is just off the cuff, man. Just go for it. Yes, thank you guys again for watching. Be sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe if it's your first time checking out the content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.